Okay, so welcome back, everyone, and today's story is wild. So on February 22nd, 1949, one of history's greatest racer was born, Andreas Nicholas, but people just called him Niki Lauda. So this guy was born from a really wealthy and conservative family. His grandfather was a successful businessman, and the Laudas expected Niki to follow a traditional path: education, family business, and a respectable career. But Niki wasn't like that. From an early age, he was fascinated by engines, cars, bikes, anything mechanical. He loved tinkering with machines and dreamed of racing. His family hated the idea. They saw motorsport as reckless, dangerous, and unworthy of the family name. When Niki insisted on becoming a driver, they cut him off financially, so he decided to do it alone. After he left home, Lauda took out a bank loan, lying about his background, to buy his way into a Formula 3 car. That move earned him the nickname the pay driver, since he literally borrowed money to start racing. He began showing promise: calm, analytical, and calculated even under pressure. Unlike many wild, instinctive racers, Niki was scientific. He studied cars like an engineer, always tweaking setups and demanding perfection. By 1973, he had made it into Formula One, driving for BRM, British Racing Motors. Though BRM wasn't a top team, his performance impressed Ferrari's boss, Enzo Ferrari, a man notoriously hard to please. Despite all that, in 1974, Enzo Ferrari signed Niki Lauda, a massive leap for the young Austrian. Lauda transformed the team. He stayed late nights with mechanics, testing every setup, giving detailed feedback. Ferrari's cars became faster, more reliable, and by 1975, Lauda won his first Formula One World Championship. He was now on top of the world. Until August 1st, 1976, the German Grand Prix at the deadly Nürburgring track. Many drivers, including Lauda, had already criticized the track for being too dangerous. That day it rained heavily, making conditions worse. On lap 2, Lauda's Ferrari lost control, hit the wall, and burst into flames. He was trapped in the burning wreck for nearly a minute before fellow drivers, Arturo Merzario, Brett Lunger, Guy Edwards, and Harold Ertl, pulled him out. He was severely burned, inhaled toxic gases, and fell into a coma. Priests were called to perform his last rites, but somehow he survived. Aside from the story, there is actually a whole movie made from the story, and if you're interested, I'll leave the name on the pinned comment. It's actually really good. Now back to the story. So after the crash, Lauda survived. 42 days later, still bandaged and in pain, Lauda returned to race at Monza, Italy. His face was scarred, his eyelids half melted, and blood seeped through his bandages inside his helmet. Yet he finished fourth, a result that shocked the entire world. He narrowly lost the championship that year to James Hunt, his charismatic British rival. Their rivalry, one of the greatest in F1 history, was built on total contrast. Despite their fierce competition, they respected each other deeply. In 1977, Lauda came back stronger and won his second world title. In 1979, Niki abruptly retired, saying, "There is more to life than driving around in circles." But business wasn't easy. He founded Lauda Air, an airline that struggled financially. To raise money and stay relevant, he returned to Formula One in 1982 with McLaren. 2 years later, in 1984, he won his third and final world championship, beating his talented teammate Alain Prost by just half a point, the smallest margin in F1 history. That cemented his legacy as one of the greatest drivers ever. After fully retiring, Lauda focused on his airline business. Tragically, Lauda Air Flight 004 crashed in 1991, killing all 223 people on board. Niki personally investigated the crash, pushing for answers from Boeing and exposing a technical fault in their aircraft, showing his relentless search for truth, even in tragedy. He later founded another airline, Niki, and returned to Formula One management, this time as a mentor and executive for Mercedes-AMG Petronas, helping build the dominant team that would later make Lewis Hamilton a global star. In 2018, Lauda underwent a lung transplant due to the long-term effects of inhaling toxic fumes from his 1976 crash. He passed away peacefully in May 2019 at age 70, but his story remains legendary. Even after being disfigured, he never hid his scars. He often joked about them and said, "My face is burned, but my brain is perfect." That's all for today, guys. If you have made it this far to the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. 1 second thoughts, don't share.